Hey, this is Michael Lindsay, and 2020 bike testing season has started. I'm out here with the newest KTM 450 SXF out at Milestone. So the list of changes this year are pretty short, especially coming from the factory edition that I rode earlier this year, which you can check out the link below for that. We don't have a lot of the bling goodies we see on the bike, the anodized bits, the different hubs, and one of the bigger performance things we don't have is the split triple clamp design. We're back to the standard triple clamp that we had from the 2019 model. But then all the suspension updates for this bike are based off that factory edition. The biggest being in the fork. They've changed the initial shim coming off the mid-speed valve. The mid-speed valve used to have a ridge that supported that shim. They've gotten rid of it so it flexes a little bit easier now. It basically allows the bike to break the crust on that held up feel of the fork, which they've been struggling with a little bit since they went to the newest chassis. I felt like they've added a little too much material in the head stay. It made the chassis a little more rigid out front. And by making this small fork change, they've been able to get it to settle a little bit easier. It makes that front end feel like it follows the ground. I feel like it's pretty noticeable out here on West Coast when you're rolling into a rut that has a really hard base and it's got really sharp edge chatter. That front tire just has a little bit more give as the fork settles a bit more initially. The only change in the suspension coming from the FE is they dropped the base pressure in the fork. The FE had 10.9 bar, this bike has 10.5 bar, so they basically lowered the spring rate in a sense. They've done that because the new stock bike went back to a standard triple clamp away from the split power parts one. This triple clamp is more rigid, so they've softened up the fork, get a little more feel. At my weight, 161, 162 this week, that's better for me. Usually 450s are low oversprung, so I kind of like that lower air pressure. But at the same time, the shock is still at standard setting, so it's overpowering the fork a little bit. For me, I just wanted to get the balance of the bike because I know the KTM has great handling characteristics across the board, but I need that balance back. I went 3 stiffer on the compression on the fork. I went 3 softer on the low speed compression on the shock and opened the high speed a quarter turn just to settle the bike a little bit more in all situations. Once I had that balance, really happy with how the KTM works in all conditions, from stability to corner entry. Very well balanced, very easy bike to get used to. The engine only has one internal change this year. They are still using a CP piston, but they've changed the spec for durability reasons. But as a result of the way they've changed the skirt and the coating, they've actually reduced a little bit of friction. The bike revs a tad bit quicker because of that. The biggest talking points with the engine is the ECU and the new airbox covers. I was actually lucky enough to be selected by KTM to do this test back in February. They had a couple select media guys that had kind of per se been complaining, to put honest, to test some of these ECU updates, because my comment has been with the KTM is not that it is slow by any means, but I didn't feel the connectivity between myself and the throttle that I like. I felt like there was a little bit of a delay in their prior mapping, and it made the bike just a little bit harder for me to adapt to compared to some of the bikes that are a little bit more crisp. It's not the actual amount of hit, it's how connected it feels to the wrist is what I was looking for. So now map 1 is still the same map they've had for the past 2 years. It's very mellow, has great roll-on torque characteristic, but it's a little flat on that response. Map 2 is the one that we tested in February. It is much more crisp. It is very connected. I run very little free play, so I like it. It's just right there and it snaps. It's still not a huge amount of hit, but it's very connected, so I can actuate the bike with the throttle. As I come into corners, I can wheelie in easier, I can pop out over stuff, and I can use the throttle to create different motions within the bike. The side panel is based off a lot of what they've done with the team stuff. We always see the team panels closed off, but it's because they're able to modify the air box in different ways under the seat to get more air volume. The KTM stock box is pretty sealed up, so at low RPMs it has a hard time getting that air in to replenish it and makes the bike rev a little bit slower. The cut open panel makes it just respond faster because it has more air volume available immediately from the crack of the throttle. I actually really like map 2 this year on both panels. If you want something that's more crisp initially response like I like, but you still want it to be mellow on RPM roll, run the closed plate. But if you want something that has a lot more of a quick rev feel and a little bit more snap out of the corner, run map 2 with the open panel. Map 1 also the same thing. Map 1 is going to be a little bit flat feeling response, but it's going to rev quicker with the open panel, and then closed panel map 1 is just going to feel like their same lethargic, slow torque roll-on feel. So big question, where does this stand against the prior 2 FEs and the prior year production bike? I think this one is better overall, especially mapping department. Hands down, this is my favorite of that batch. Suspension-wise is a toss-up. I definitely thought the FE adjustments last year really good. The initial flex of the fork is way better on that shim stack change. So I really like the suspension on both the FE and this bike. It really just comes down to what you would run air pressure depending on your weight. The only thing I really do miss from the FE is that split triple clamp. It is a KTM Power Parts catalog item though, so you could go out and get it. I think that adds a little bit to the comfort on the front end. But other than that, I'm sold on this one. If you've been waiting to upgrade your bike, this year is definitely gonna be a nice little jump for you. If you have any questions, whether it's riding impression, tech related about this bike, throw it in the comments section below. I try to respond to them all. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. We're getting deep into 2020 testing season now, and Shootout is gonna come up very quick, and I'm gonna do something very different than what I've done for any media outlet I worked for prior, and I think it's gonna be really exciting, so stay tuned for that as well.